So I'm late to the party because of scheduling conflicts with yesterday's upload for the Season 3 Reloaded Mastery Guide, and YouTube wouldn't process videos, so I couldn't even dream of a double upload, but XDefiant is finally here, or almost. But after the year-plus wait the general community has had, even longer for those who followed it from the very beginning when it was officially revealed, it's finally happening, and today we're breaking down what you need to know about when, what content's coming, the future, and much more in between. So drop your thoughts as we go along. Are you looking forward to having another game to grind? Whatever the case, let me know. But if you enjoyed the video, you found it at all insightful, do me a favor and drop a like on it. And if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe for more XDefiant coverage ahead of the launch and beyond. I'd love to have you in the community, but for now, let's get into it. So, in an announcement over on Twitter and an accompanying blog post, XDefiant finally announced its launch date. The fast arena shooter you've been waiting for is almost here. XDefiant drops on May 21st on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and Ubisoft Connect PC. Along with that came an accompanying video that was just a date reveal, but the following blog detailed even more that you should know about. So, first and foremost, the date, of course, is May 21st, but beyond that, a little more specifically, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. in the UK and elsewhere in the world. I'd imagine preloads will be available, but it seems like, as indicated from the last test session a little bit ago, that if you already had this installed from previous test sessions in the application previously, it seems like that will be just updated to end up being the full launch version of the game. So that should be something that maybe you already have it installed. But as for the content coming and what to expect, well, it's everything that we have had in the server test session and other insider sessions previously, that including the beta last year. So you'll have the factions of the Echelon, Phantoms, Cleaners, Libertad, and DedSec. DedSec being that one that you can either unlock. They say purchase, but honestly, just go for the unlock. I don't really think you need to buy anything for that personally. You have the maps of Arena, Attica Heights, Dumbo, Echelon, Emporium, Liberty, Mayday, Meltdown, Midway, Noodleplex, Pueblito, Showtime, Times Square, and Zoo. Some of those being part of the progression style maps, some of those being part of the arena maps, but then you'll also have the modes of Domination, Hot Shot, Occupy, Escort, and Zone Control. Now, they did mention there's going to be a new ranked mode practice playlist where it'll be essentially some of the practice playlists, but not having your sort of skill rating tethered to that for all to see. But then also at launch, your rewards from server test sessions, the prior insider sessions, and the beta will all be available on your account at that point, free to play around with. So the whole game is finally here. Yes, we've played it in spurts, but you're finally going to have absolutely everything at your disposal, and you're not going to have anything reset after logging out for a weekend. On top of that, you should have that practice zone, as well as it seems like a battle pass coming for the preseason as well. So some stuff you can grind out there. Listening back to this while editing, I noticed that it wasn't mentioned explicitly, but those should be there based off of prior mentions. But as for the future, they even detailed a little bit about this. Firstly, we are going to see this preseason that we launch into. It's going to last for 6 weeks. So if nothing does change, if it is something that is straight up just 6 weeks after May 21st, that will take us to July 2nd, where we can see our Season 1 content kick off. And at that point, it's going to start the seasonal cadence, as they say. Every 3 months, the community can expect new weapons, maps, events, and a new faction, with Year 1 totaling an additional 4 factions, 12 weapons, and 12 maps. So you're going to see a lot of stuff basically on a monthly update at this point. It seems like you'll have a 90-tier battle pass coming along with each of those seasons as well. So 4 seasons, and again, about one larger piece every month, even bigger in terms of factions once every 3 months here. So it's something that the future is already planned out, it's already laid out, and we're finally getting things going. So what's nice is that from right now till May 21st, it doesn't seem like this will be the last time we hear of XDefiant until the launch of the game. As stated by the blog, they say we have more communication and details coming soon in the weeks leading up to launch, but we can't wait to see you all in game on May 21st. So while nothing is specified, we'll probably see some of the usual pre-launch marketing of sorts where other games do this as well, with more communication, maybe on like a leveling and reward system, future content plans beyond just the basics of what's on board, maybe like teases of stuff upcoming. I'm personally hoping to see some communication on the anti-cheat and a commitment to keeping cheaters out of the game. Again, free-to-play, as we've talked about so many times, is definitely a hurdle for that kind of stuff, or perhaps lack thereof, because you make another account if you're banned and you just get right back into it. So you got to find a way to deter cheaters and keep them out of the game. And honestly, I'd like to hear of additional features in the works as well. Maybe a little preview of that prestige system, some of the seasonal leveling stuff coming in the future, if there's anything. But honestly, I'm just happy the day is finally here. From a personal excitement standpoint, I've been waiting for this game since April of 2022. That seems a little weird to say because that's way longer than most people probably knew that it was existing, but I did some consulting work on the game way back in the day. I think might have even been maybe earlier than the game's official reveal. It might have been just like right after it, but having played some of the earliest builds of the game, I always found it to be a fun arcade shooter vibe, and finally now getting to play it freely is of course insanely welcomed. But honestly, beyond that, on a larger scope, I'm just happy that it's finally launching because we've seen all the memes that the game will never launch. I'm happy that it's finally going to be out there for people to play. And honestly, I'm happy for the Ubisoft dev team working on this, the people that put their heart and soul into this day in and day out to finally have their product out there for the world to experience. And beyond that, I think there's a lot of potential with the summer ahead. Timing, of course, is everything, but like for an FPS fan, frankly, I think that we're in for a good next few months. Like, big picture, XDefiant launching in less than 3 weeks. We've got that COD 2024 reveal of some kind coming up in the next month or so. Rumored right now that we'll see something this month, which is pretty exciting. Then a new season for Modern Warfare 3 at the end of the month, a new season to start July for XDefiant on the 2nd. Again, if nothing changes of that 6-week window, we'll have some reveals for whatever COD has over the course of June and July as well. I'd wager we see something for multiplayer reveal in August for COD 2024, but a lot of stuff here in terms of the arcade shooter and just FPS space in general. But also outside of just the arcade side of that, if you're into more tactical shooters and stuff like that, Gray Zone just came out. We've got Arena Breakout Infinite coming into its beta next week. We've got other stuff on the horizon too, so a lot of cool stuff for FPS fans to play around with, and for that, I'm just happy we finally have something to add to this and another thing to grind out. My only hope is that the COD reveals and upcoming details don't overshadow XDefiant. Like, still 100% I'm in that mindset that this game can and will coexist. It doesn't need to take aim at Call of Duty when you have a whole set of franchises of your own that you can work together and craft your own shooter. And with free to play, of course, it still has a ton of prospective players, even without the sort of COD fan base that would want to jump ship as of last year. I think successful competition drives the market and industry to make the best experiences for the consumers. So if COD has a challenger, whether it be XDefiant, Battlefield, Halo, Apex, any other game in the genre, I think if they're firing on all cylinders, it's great for players of any game. So either way, busy couple of weeks upcoming, crafting my content calendar here. I've got already a few days of double uploads scheduled for not only just XDefiant's launch content, but also for the overlap in content we'll see with COD, because we'll have reveals and the launch of Season 4 upcoming. So that time frame is going to be pretty busy. Next week might be that only sort of downtime that we have, but that said, XDefiant coming May 21st, and I'm excited that it's finally coming. So that's what we're going to call it. Before we wrap everything up, make sure you check out my friends over at Gamer Advantage, what I firmly believe are the best blue light glasses on the market. I've worked with these guys for nearly 3 years now and cannot recommend them enough. They're the most lightweight, comfortable, and durable frames out there as far as I've used, and I definitely think that they've helped my daily productivity. Now, full transparency, they are a bit more of an investment, but I do think your vision's absolutely worth investing into, especially if you're like me, you're looking at a monitor, phone, you're gaming for a good chunk of the day. If you guys would like to learn more, at the very least, I'd recommend checking out their website, where they can better break down the science and the specifics way better than I could, but what I can personally tell you is that I'd highly recommend them. So if you'd like to learn more, check the link in the description below, and if you'd like to pick something up for yourself, use code Espresso to get 10% off your entire order. But for now, that's what we're going to call it. Let me know your thoughts down below on what you're thinking for XDefiant's launch. Liking the news, disliking it, whatever the case, drop your thoughts. But if you enjoyed the video, you found it at all insightful, do me a favor and drop a like on it. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a single thing regarding all things XDefiant as we gear up for the launch and beyond. I'd love to have in the community. But for now, thanks so much for watching. Modest Espresso. I'll see you later. Take care and peace.